Let me tell you a story of an old Krytan king called Oswald Thorn. 500 years ago he ruled the kingdom with an iron fist and a maniacal disposition. So iron was his fist and so very maniacal was his disposition that he got the nickname Mad King Thorn. As a young boy, Prince Oswald was a second son. His older brother, Prince Ewan, he murdered by tricking and treating him to a giant spider who gladly ate him whole. Despite this, the naive ghost of Prince Ewan still thinks fondly of his younger brother, despite his clear and utter numptiness. Prince Oswald later also killed his father and took his brother's betrothed, Lady Lyrica, as his wife. He quickly got tired of her though and had her assassinated. He did this to many of his wives, a total of 8 in fact. Some of them he had killed in quite creative ways as well. One of them, Estrella for instance, was killed by Oswald shoving her in a coffin full of rats and dumping it into sea. As a king, Oswald was a truly terrible leader. He had his opposition persecuted and executed, and he raised taxes so dramatically the population suffered and died. He also sparked a war with the island kingdom Istan by first kidnapping the king and using him as a ransom for his daughter's hand in marriage, only to later kill her off after having gotten bored with her. Krytan did win the war, though it was a bloody one and caused the Krytan people even more suffering. With one of his unfortunate wives, the Mad King had a son, Prince Edric Thorn, later known as Bloody Prince Thorn, or Eddie to his beloved father. Prince Edric Thorn was, for reasons unknown, locked up in a dungeon cell. His father did not approve of him either. Edric managed to escape and bit off his guards' tongues so as to keep them from talking. Ugh. The Thorn family trait was clearly not lost on Mad King Jr. In order to incite an uprising against his father, Edric burned down a whole Krytan village. After the Mad King found out though, he had his son magically sealed inside the Shell of Insanity, a coffin-like device, with only a mouthful of candy corn to eat. Naturally, Edric soon died of starvation. The rebellion, however, breached the king's castle Thorn and had the Mad King promptly executed. The Mad King's rule had ended. In order to make sure the king did not magically return to this world, the superstitious mob had his body chopped up and scattered all around Tyria, sealed in magical boxes. So happy days, all was believed to be well. Little did the Krytan population know that the Mad King's spirit had gained notoriety and influence within the underworld of the dead. In 1079, after the exodus of the gods, an attempt was made by the Mad King's lunatic court, living fanatics trying to bring together the pieces of their old king and have him returned. Fortunately, this failed, only managing to return the Mad King's invisible horse. After this failure, the Mad King's presence in Tyria was not felt for a long time. His story turned into folklore in order to scare the shit out of Krytan kids, such as yourselves. Now go to bed, my darlings. If you don't brush your teeth, perhaps the Mad King will come back and haunt you with insidious pranks and terribly bad jokes. Wouldn't that be awful? If that were to happen, pray there be heroes around who could defeat him and lock him back in the underworld where he belongs.